Hey, what is up, you sexy beasts? My name is Shadowfax, and or Louise, whichever you want to call me. And today, guys, we're talking Battlefield 1 Open Beta because I've been able to play it for endless hours these last few days on the Xbox One, the PS4, and the PC. And so I feel that I am now ready to be able to give an honest review of it. And I'm also going to be showing you some gameplay from each platform to show you the differences and do a little bit of a comparison between the three. And hopefully I'm going to be just putting up raw gameplay from the Xbox One, from the PS4 and from PC. And hopefully if I don't do any editing or anything like that, you'll be able to see the difference. I don't know. I think I can see a little bit of difference in the recordings. They were all recorded with the exact same capture device at the exact same settings. So we'll see. But let's get into this. So first off, we've got the Xbox One gameplay for the Battlefield 1 beta. And to me, this was the most poorly performing, which... Now, nobody get mad at me, because if you know me, you actually know that I'm an Xbox girl. I've been playing Xbox for about roughly the last 10 years. And so for me, this is I say it with a heavy heart, but it was worse on the Xbox One. It really was. It didn't look quite as good as the others. And also, it just seemed more buggy. It lagged a little bit more. Everyone was complaining about the pause menu was very laggy, very slow. It was 10 times worse on the Xbox One. It really was. And it could even crash your game. And a few times on the Xbox One, I've had it lagging, I've had it crash, I've just been stuck in the menus. So that is something that really needs to be sorted out. I don't know why it's worse on the Xbox One. Maybe just the servers are worse. I don't know. But it really was. And though the game did look beautiful on Xbox One, it definitely did not look as good as it did on the other two platforms. Next up, we have the PS4 gameplay. And I have to say that this game was a lot better on PS4. It looked better, and I've heard that games do look a little bit better on the PS4, but I've never had a game on both consoles to be able to compare them before. But this time I jumped on the PS4, jumped on Battlefield 1 beta, and it did look a little bit nicer. I don't know what it was, it looked a little bit brighter, a little bit smoother. The game just all round looked a little bit more beautiful than it did on the Xbox One. So that was the first thing that hit me. It also just ran smoother. I didn't really experience any lag. I don't think I really experienced any issues with the pause menu on the PS4. Maybe just a couple of times I did, but overall it seemed to work better on the PS4, and the game actually never crashed on me on PS4 at all. So overall, I would say that it is a lot better on the PS4, but also I say that with a heavy heart because really I am an Xbox girl. And lastly, we have the PC gameplay, and I cannot stress enough how impressed I was with the way this game ran on PC. Now, the minimum requirements are a GTX 660 graphics card, and I'm rocking out with a 650 because my PC is nearly 4 years old and desperately needs upgrading, which I haven't had the chance to do yet. So I thought I'd give it a go anyway, as Battlefield is a PC gameplay, so it's likely to be more optimized than, say, Call of Duty, and I was impressed. I had it on the default settings of 1080p at 60 frames per second, and it managed to run it quite well. We didn't quite manage the 60 frames per second, but we were hitting about 40 to 50 frames per second. Sometimes it dipped down to 30, but it was still playable, it was still manageable, it was a lot of fun. I really did enjoy myself. And I can't stress how impressed I was with how well my PC could run this game, considering it is a brand new game. I was really sort of surprised by that. I really didn't think I'd be able to do it in 1080p, but I was. And if I took it down to 720p, it ran even better, and I was getting nearly 100 frames per second. So for an old PC like mine to be able to run this game, I think that's a pretty good job well done. But yeah, it also looks 10 times more beautiful on the PC, obviously. And if you've got a beastly rig that can run this game at Ultra, you're going to be laughing. The game is absolutely beautiful as it is. And on PC, oh my God, 10 out of 10 would bang. I just love this game. And it was very, very smooth on PC. It did crash a couple of times on me, but I think that was more to do with the fact that my computer thought it was going to have a heart attack after playing for about 2 hours. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, and everything just seemed so smooth. So I was really, really impressed. But now let's talk about the actual game itself. Now, as you can probably tell from the way I've been talking about this game, I'm absolutely in love with it, and I definitely will be buying it. But I do think there are a few things in the beta that they could have done better and that they could do better in the overall game. Now, the map, for instance, everyone's been complaining about it, that it is a boring map, and that it's a shame that it's the only one that we've been allowed to play. And I totally agree with this. This map, I think, is actually lazy on DICE's part, because they talk about it's the biggest map that they've ever done in Battlefield history, and it's literally a sea of sand. They've put all the objectives up the top, cramped them all together, and put Objective E all on its lonesome down the bottom of the map where nobody bothers to go, so poor E's got no friends. And yeah, literally you go down the bottom of the map and it is just a sea of sand. You're not likely to see a soul down there, and all you end up doing is coming back with your shoes full of sand. So it's quite boring. I think they've been... Yes, the map's huge, but none of it gets used. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I think they've been very lazy on that part. I don't think this map is particularly exciting. And after playing it for the amount of hours that I have, the map itself is making me get bored with the game. But otherwise, the gameplay itself, I'm absolutely loving. As you're seeing from the clips, I'm mainly a sniper. I'm not the type of sniper that sits back the whole time sniping, trying my hardest to hit something and actually hitting fuck all. I do sometimes just actually play the fucking objective, and I like to get close and do a little bit of close quarters sniping. That always makes me feel like a fucking badass. But I've also been playing the sniper role a lot more in the beta than I normally would, simply because I find that the other guns quite suck. Quite frankly. The SMGs, though powerful, are absolutely fucking useless at any type of range. Literally, you have to be 2 feet away from them to be able to kill them, and that just, to me, just isn't fun. Something that also made people mad was the way that Conquest has changed. In the past, it was that both teams started off with a certain amount of tickets, and the objective was to make the enemy bleed tickets by killing them and capturing points. And then the team that lost all their tickets first were the losers. But it doesn't work this way anymore. It works more like Domination does in Call of Duty, where you earn points for capturing objectives and holding them. Now, at first, this didn't bother me. It essentially was that whichever team managed to get to 300 points first won. And though, yes, the scoring system was a little bit different, it was essentially the same game mode, so it didn't really bother me. But the fact that they put a time limit on it of about 15 to 20 minutes, that's what pissed me off. Because every game I was in, no team was actually making it to the 300 point mark. And sometimes we would have a game where we were literally 10 points behind the other team, and the time would run out and we would lose. Whereas given more time, we could have easily have pulled that back and got the win. So that really started to piss me off. But there seems to have been a hotfix today, which I'm quite happy about, which just, the time just keeps going on. They've taken that time limit away, and they are allowing it so that the whole point of Battlefield is the long matches and that we can actually get to the 300 point limit mark. I also think that they've done something to the weapons. Now, as I said before, SMGs, they were pretty shit in my opinion. You literally had to be 2 foot in front of someone to be able to get those hits on them to kill them. Now, it seems that they've increased the range of these guns just a little bit further, which is always good. Also, I found that the recoil on them was a little bit OP. You'd be desperately trying to keep that enemy in your crappy iron sights, and your gun had other ideas. Every time you shot it, it would bounce straight up into the sky, and you'd end up looking at the clouds, which was never good. They seem to have addressed this issue, and after playing today, I find that the guns have a little bit less recoil, which is always good. One thing I did hear people complaining about was the snipers, that they had next to no bullet drop, and that they were just basically too easy to use. Now, while I do agree that they probably are a little bit easier to use than they were in, say, Battlefield 4, I don't think they were too easy. Yes, the bullet drop was a bit less, but that's not such a bad thing. We want snipers to be a little bit more involved in the actual game and doing the objectives, and if they're finding it too hard to snipe, they are going to sit back on that rock. You make it just that little bit easier, and they'll come forward a little bit and actually help out with the objective. And so I was quite enjoying the sniping in Battlefield 1. I got my shot down. I was really enjoying it. I was having a lot of fun. And there seems to have been a fix to it today. I have noticed more bullet drop, which is a shame for someone like me that uses snipers on the regular. It means that I just got my shot sorted, and now I've got to do it all over again and get used to these snipers all over again, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well. Now, there has been a few problems that I've had with the snipers, and I haven't seen this addressed in today's patch. And I would really like to see something done about it. Now, to me, snipers in upper parts of the body, shots like that should be a one-hit kill. But on this game, it literally seems to be only if you hit them square in the head. I've sniped people straight through the neck, and they are still alive, with only 80% damage. And that kind of pisses me off. If I shoot someone in the neck, I expect them to die. Also, I've had some close quarters combat with the sniper, and I have sniped someone at close range straight in the chest, and it's only done about 70 damage. And then there's just not enough time to switch to your pistol. Switching to your pistol it's too slow, and you don't have time to pull your pistol out and finish that person off. So that is something that pisses me off, and this is one of the reasons that snipers do sit right back, because of these kind of problems. But also I've had a few problems where I have actually sniped someone in the head, and I've actually seen the blood squirt from the top of their head, and yet no damage has been done at all. And that kind of pisses me off as well. So that is something that I am hoping will be addressed and sorted by the time the full game is released. But otherwise, I absolutely love this game. I will definitely be buying it. I really wish they'd give us a couple more maps, or just at least one more map to play in the beta, but I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, guys, that's my thoughts and feelings on it. There isn't too much I'm not happy with. Literally, I would just like to see, even though the SMGs seem to have been buffed a little bit, I'd like to see them buffed a little bit more, just make them that little bit more useful. I'd like to see the sniping sorted out so that when I do actually snipe someone in the head, it does do damage and kill them rather than it does nothing. And I would like to see that the one-shot kill from a sniper maybe lowered down a bit from the head down to the upper chest. That would be quite nice, because literally when you snipe someone through the neck or through the jaw, you do expect them to die. And when they don't and they just run away, it's rather frustrating. I'm not going to lie, I was rather fuming. But anyway, guys, that's been my thoughts and feelings on it. Have you played the beta? What do you think of it? Is there anything you'd like to see changed? Are you going to be buying it? Because I definitely will be. I'm just still deciding what platform to buy it on, because though it's not the greatest on Xbox One at the moment, it's the most poorly performing. It's also the one that all my Battlefield friends play on, so yeah, that's something I've got to think about. But anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. Bye!